From the images we've seen from the James Webb telescope, it looks like humanity is certainly going down the right path to a future like Star Trek. But are scientists just stopping here? Apparently not, because the next step in space exploration seems to be in the form of the Magellan, a multi-million-dollar telescope that will make the JWST look like a child's toy. A very fitting name, we think. Firstly, what's all the craze around these million-dollar telescopes? You have to understand that there has never been an infrared telescope before, which is why the James Webb telescope has everyone so excited, and frankly, a little terrified. We aren't the only ones, sitting in an existential crisis as scientists over at NASA tried explaining how tiny we were in the latest images. The internet erupted with mixed views, with everybody confused about what to feel. So what makes this new telescope this important? Basically, infrared wavelengths are what allow scientists over at NASA to see the first stars and galaxies forming since the Big Bang. The light from the pictures has taken 250 million years to reach us, so we're literally looking into the past. It's almost like having a time machine at your disposal. No wonder NASA has been dealing with almost 12,000 proposals from aspiring scientists to use the new space-age technology. The images coming in are things humans would have never imagined seeing, and things that we have seen now look totally different since we can finally look through all the gas clouds blocking our sight because of the infrared. Right now, the aim is that scientists have to use this new and amazing technology to find terrestrial inhabitable planets or even find biological life. As soon as they discover planets that have enough water for oceans, we could be looking at a new era for everyone. Truly, this feels like we are finally entering the start of some science fiction movie, discovering new stars and new species. Now on to the most recent $205 million funding received by the Magellan. We are working with some of the brightest engineers and scientists at leading research institutions around the globe, said the board chair for the Magellan Telescope, Walter Massey, in a recent interview. The project received funding which will put it on the fast track to be constructed even quicker. The investments came from South Korea, Australia, Brazil, France, Italy, and Chile. Apart from funds received from these countries, the team behind the Magellan is receiving constant help from some of the world's leading astronomers and universities, such as Harvard, Smithsonian, and the Carnegie Institute for Science. Next up, how will the mega telescope be made? For a project this large, we had considerable doubts over it even passing the initial funding phase, but the most recent $205 million investment positions the giant Magellan telescope to be one of the primaries in another age of very enormous telescopes to be developed. First light is actually expected before the decade's over. 6 of 7 essential mirror fragments have been projected in Tucson, Arizona, and the third essential mirror section has finished its 2-year cleaning stage and is going through its final testing. Next, the development of 40,000 square foot office in Illinois to fabricate the telescope's huge structure is finished, and the development of the telescope's most important mirror is in progress in France and Italy, and the site in Chile is prepared for the pouring of the foundation. The world is literally coming together to create this technological marvel, and that's what we love about the entire project the most. The giant Magellan telescope is viewed as a state-of-the-art exploration device. It will utilize 7 of the world's biggest mirrors. The 25-meter mirror exhibit comprises 7 8-meter widths that weigh 18 metric tons to deliver the most nitty-gritty pictures at any point taken of the universe, completely overtaking the James Webb telescope in every single regard. Yet, the giant Magellan telescope will take things to the next level. The total light-gathering area of 368 square meters will show pictures sharp enough to determine the light shining in a very small space from almost 160 kilometers away. The telescope mount is 39 meters tall, weighs 2,100 tons, and is housed in a 65-meter casing that can make a full turn in around 3-minute stops. 7 versatile auxiliary mirrors can reshape the 2-millimeter thick surface 2,000 times each second to address the optical masking impact of Earth's air over the largest field of perspective on any telescope. And finally, the $1 billion Magellan telescope and what it will accomplish. Named after the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, proved the world was round by sailing across it. A very historic and culturally important name, and so it seems fitting for the telescope to be titled after him. The telescope is said to be completed in the late 2030s, but why is it being built so close to the James Webb telescope? Well, it's because the Magellan will have 4 times the resolution and will literally produce the most detailed images of deep space we have ever seen. The test images up on their website compared an image from the JWST to Magellan, and the difference seemed like comparing your grandmother's old iPhone 3 camera to the brand new iPhone 13. Just the clarity and the colors alone were breathtaking. The telescope is going to offer amazing quality photographs of far-off galaxies, stars, and planets. Through the 2,100-ton machine, we could be learning about exoplanets at an insanely fast rate, and will literally pave the way for future space travel and exploration. Scientists and astronomers will have an unmatched opportunity to study these images and maybe map the future of our travel out into the stars. Using the insanely high-powered glass telescope, we could even zoom into nearby planets to confirm signs of extraterrestrial life, or even scan their surfaces for vital resources like oceans. Final testing and polishing seems to be underway for its giant mirrors in Los Campanas Observatory in Chile's Atacama Desert, which is where the facility around the telescope will be built. In other related news, investments in the Magellan continue to rise. The University of Texas at Austin is putting an extra $45 million in the giant Magellan telescope, the world's most remarkable telescope. This extra financing carries the college's absolute obligation to $110.3 million. The University of Arizona, the University of Chicago, and the Sao Paulo Research Foundation all committed themselves to financing the crucial mission of constructing the machine. The initial rallying effort was actually led by the University of Carnegie, which gathered support from other members too, and scientists are proposing a new design for the starshade. Since the Earth is a tiny planet compared to the vast Sun, it seems to be getting 10 million times the amount of light from it. Now, since the light coming down to Earth from distant and faraway exoplanets and stars is so faint, the Sun really seems to get in the way of that by giving a nasty glare to our cameras. Now, along with the completion of the James Webb telescope, scientists have thought up a starshade, which is basically an object placed between the Sun and telescope, blocking the intense glare. A working starshade would need to be 300 feet in size and be placed something like 100,000 miles from Earth. Whenever sent, this sort of hybrid observatory would permit researchers to investigate the hidden corners of the Milky Way a lot nearer than with the current innovations of today. Wrapping it up with, has the James Webb telescope just debunked the Big Bang Theory? While the public has been spellbound by the number of new universes and stars that have been shown, it has caused a frenzy among stargazers and cosmologists. One of the developing worries for these new pictures is that it has started to create papers that could literally be implying that the Big Bang Theory has been faked. The new proof would expose the Big Bang Theory in a bad way, as the underlying thought is the universe exploded into reality and started to grow. It would be ideal for it to be always growing, truth be told. But the new systems being seen are said to actually be even older than when scientists theorized the Big Bang was said to have happened. The younger stars in those far worlds should have been hot and blue, as that's what their state should have been, as most young stars are. But that doesn't seem to be true, as the stars being found are cooler and reddish in variety, showing they are older than when the Big Bang would have happened. Normally, these new discoveries would only affect mainstream researchers. The exposure of the Big Bang Theory would bring about long stretches of exploration being pointless. Even more importantly, religious sects and society have always rejected this theory and instead believed that a single God created everything. Now they have solid grounds to actually be right. That's a wrap for this video, and thank you for watching. What do you think of the new $4 billion telescope, and how would you like it to perform? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.